Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to the review of The Nothing, the 13th studio record by the nu metal band Korn. Today we're celebrating the 5th anniversary of the record, so decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. I've already reviewed half of the record, so go check those videos out. My story with this band is quite simple. I've already talked about it in the previous reviews. To put it shortly, I heard Korn like in the year 2000-2001 because of my brother-in-law. He had the first 4 records on his computer and I just heard Boltong and the rest is history. I loved Boltong. I was a small boy back then, like 3 or 4 years old, but that song basically made me a nu metal fan to this day, and I loved the first 4 Korn records. Then the Untouchables came out, it was amazing. Then Take a Look in the Mirror, it was even better. It's my second favorite Korn album after the self-titled one. Take a Look is great, very underrated. Then See You came out and I hated it. It was a pop garbage record. It actually made me hate Korn and I wouldn't listen to this band for like 5 years. Then I've heard Korn Free because I've skipped Untitled. I didn't even know Untitled was released, so I listened to Korn Free and I was like, this is nice, this is like return to form, so I've enjoyed Korn Free a lot. Then I went back and listened to Untitled. It's fine, it's an experimental record, it's fun to listen to. Then the dubstep record came out and when it was released I did not enjoy it that much, but it grew on me. It's actually quite nice, especially when it comes to the vocal department. Then the paradigm shift happened, Head rejoined the band, and well, go watch my review of the paradigm shift, go watch it right now. Then another record came out in 2016, The Serenity of Suffering. That one is actually quite great, I do enjoy listening to it. And finally in 2019 we've got The Nothing, which is inspired by Jonathan Davis' ex-wife who sadly passed away because of drug overdose. And that's the main inspiration behind this record, Jonathan's dead wife and his life. So that's the message of the album. As usual, when it comes to the lineup, we've got Jonathan Davis on the vocals and bagpipes, Monkey and Head on the guitars, Fieldy on the bass, and Ray on the drums. As you can see here, most of the songs were written by the band, but also we've got some songs just done by Jonathan Davis, like the intro, the outro, then middle interlude, and we also have some new people, like we've got the vocalist of Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan. We also have this dude, John Feldman, the producer. The thing that should give you a big giant red flag is this name right here, it's Christie. Lauren Christie is the woman who's from The Matrix company. The Matrix wrote See You on the Other Side for Korn, and that record was pop garbage as I stated earlier, so she's here and she wrote some of the tracks with the band, which is, it's not great to be quite honest. The album was a massive hit, everybody loves it, like look up the reception. 83 out of 100, all of the reviews, positive. The fan reception, also positive. Loudwire named it one of the 50 best metal albums of 2019, so everyone enjoys this record. Nice. The production is tight, it was done by Nick Raskulnevich, or however you pronounce his surname, I'm sorry for that. He also did some Alice in Chains records before Korn, and I do enjoy his production style. I like that you can hear the bass. That's something that was missing on the Paradigm Shift, for example. You couldn't hear Fieldy at all, and here you can hear him, which is quite nice. The drums are mixed quite well, same with the guitars and the vocals. It's a nice sounding album. Message is diverse. As I stated before, it's mostly about Jonathan Davis' life, so personal struggles, relationship issues, addictions, the death of his wife, stuff like that. Structure of the tracks is basic, standard intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. Sometimes the bridge consists of 2 or 3 segments, and that's basically it. The music here is considered nu metal, but I would actually say that it's nu metal with some pop rock vibes thrown in and alternative metal vibes. It's not a standard nu metal record, sadly. The album opens up with The End Begins, and the first thing I'm going to notice here is the bagpipes. So yeah, the bagpipes are on the album, which is quite nice. I don't actually remember which records did not have bagpipes. I think maybe Untouchables did not have the bagpipes, because the first 4 records and the 6th one had bagpipes, same with See You and Untitled, so it's kinda sad that they broke this tradition like on the 5th record already. I wish every Korn album had bagpipes. Besides bagpipes, on this record you can hear of course the drums by Ray, and the drummer is phenomenal. I love his groove, his style, the precision of his playing. Ray even does a blast beat section on one of the tracks, so his playing is quite nice. But as I stated in my other reviews, I feel that David fits the band Korn way better, like he had that primal style to his playing, and while Ray is technically a better drummer, he doesn't have such a good feel like David had. That's just my opinion. I do enjoy the drumming here, but I'm sure if David was still in the band, then the drumming would be even better. Next we've got all of the electronic elements on this record. There isn't much of them, which is a plus because I hated those electronic vibes on the Paradigm Shift, they annoyed the hell out of me. So here there's less of that, which is quite nice. Next we've got the guitar riffs. Most of the guitar riffs slap, they remind me of the old school Korn. We've got those eerie, chromatic riffs, you know, wow, 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 wow. The eerie melodies, the scary ones. Some cool groovy 0, 1, 2, 3 guitar riffs. It's all here, it works. Mikey and Head are perfect as usual when it comes to their playing. Next we've got Fieldy with his bass playing, and it's audible. He mostly follows the guitars, but we have some moments where he does that clunky stuff, you know, ching ching ching. I love that. I wish there was more of it, because besides few songs here and there like Cold, You'll Never Find Me, Harder, the other songs don't have a prominent bass lines, like the bass is in the background mostly, and that's not good. Like, bring up the bass in the mix. Have you ever heard Take a Look in the Mirror or Issues or Follow the Leader? The bass is always up front, you can always hear Fieldy. So why is he reduced to some like secondary character in the band? Like, no one cares about him. That's how I feel. Like, they gave him like 5 or 6 spots on this record where he can shine, but before that, on the first 6 records, he was always there. You could always hear him, like the band respected him, and now they don't. Like, it sounds like that to me. Like, haven't anyone else noticed that? Like, I am so surprised that fans of Korn don't talk about this stuff. Like, have you forgotten that the bass was always up front? You could hear this clanking, you know, his iconic bass sound, and nowadays it's like gone. Like, the songs have the bass, but you can only hear it for a little bit, and then it's like gone in the mix, like he doesn't even exist. Why does that happen? Like, Korn has a lot of things that make them unique, you know, the vocals, the eerie guitar melodies, the grooves, the cool groovy drumming, but also the bass sound, you know, the clunky bass, boom 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 boom. And when that's gone, you're just a standard metal band. So what are you doing? I hope that Fieldy is going to be more prominent on the next record, you know, 2024 2025. I don't know when the new album is going to be released, but I hope he's on it, and they will give him some space, you know, to do the clunky stuff. Because imagine listening to Korn Play Me or Korn Right Now without those cool bass lines. Din 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 din. And here the bass is only shining through sometimes, like on the song Code, like you can hear the bass for like 2 seconds, like and then it's gone because the guitar is playing and the guitar is too loud, so you can't hear the bass. Sorry for that long rant, but I don't like that. I don't like that you can hear the bass for most of the time. And finally we've got the vocals by Jonathan. If you watched my Paradigm Shift review, then you are probably angry with me because I hated that album. It's the second worst from them, and the reason for that is quite simple: the vocals. Since like Paradigm Shift, Jonathan Davis started to sing more poppy influenced stuff, because on the first 6 records he had that old school tone to his voice, very emotional. It didn't have that opera quality, you know. It wasn't dramatic in a bad sense, you know, over dramatic, like la la la, like they say in movies or musicals or opera, you know, stuff like that. That wasn't the case on the first records, but then See You happened, and on See You he started to sing this poppy choruses like twisted, this is that. It wasn't great, and since then that manner of his voice was just slightly growing, and on Korn 3, Ross Robinson, he just took his voice back to the good old days, so the singing was perfect on Korn 3. But after Ross was gone, then the dubstep record came in, and some of the singing was atrocious there, like the song Kill Mercy Within had some of the worst vocals from Jonathan, like I couldn't stand it. And then the Paradigm Shift happened, and half of the vocals were like unlistenable. Have you heard the song Never Never? Or the chorus in Mass Hysteria? Like, what the hell is that? And that's what is happening on The Nothing as well. Some of the songs have great vocals throughout the entire length, like for example, You'll Never Find Me. Then we have some other tracks that have awful singing in either verses or choruses, and I'm like, what are you doing, Jonathan? You're one of the best vocalists out there. What are you doing with your voice? Like, this is cringe, bro. You're doing some pop opera shit, and are you even enjoying this? I don't know why he changed his vocal style to this stuff, because it doesn't sound good. It sounds over dramatic, it sounds fake, and it's annoying the hell out of me, and I am going to give you examples as I will go through the entire tracklist of the record. So, going back to The End Begins, this is just an intro. We've got some bagpipes, some vocals, la la la, and then in the outro Jonathan breaks down, he starts crying, it's very sad, and I do enjoy it because it reminds me of the first record, you know, Daddy, stuff like that. But the beginning of the song, besides bagpipes, isn't that great. It doesn't sound that evil or dark, it just sounds like an intro. It's kinda like the song Dead from Issues, but just not as good as it. So 6 out of 10. Then we've got Cold. This was the second single, I think, and it made a big impression on me for the first time. You know, the first minute of this song, the intro, toop, 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 and the growling. Discover me, discovering. But then the verse happens. You know that boom, step vocals like that, and I'm like, I'm instantly dead. Like, what are you doing? Why does it sound like that? Like, the music isn't that bad in the verse, but what are you doing with your vocals, man? Step away from the side, woohoo! Like, what is this? Is this a SpongeBob thing song? What are you doing? And then the breakdown, you know, with the growling happens. Killing me, cold. You know, that bass line. Love that stuff. And then the chorus happens, and the chorus is the worst part of the song. It actually ruins the song for me. I'm on my way, na 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 na. This is the time that makes me. What are you doing, bro? This is awful. I cannot listen through it. Like, I have to skip it always because it annoys the hell out of me. It gives me misophonia. You know what misophonia is? No? Google it. And it's so bad, like if it wasn't for the chorus, it would be my favorite song on the record, because the intro, the cool breakdowns, the heavier parts slap, but the more mellow parts with the singing, they just aren't that great, to be honest. So 8 out of 10. I am quite generous here because I just enjoy the heavy parts so much. Next song is the first single of the record, You Will Never Find Me. This one was co-written with Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. He apparently helped with the vocals, and thank you, Billy, because this song has amazing vocals from beginning to the end, as I stated before. The vocal performance is top-notch, like there isn't any annoying pop-sounding vocal lines on this track. Like, you can feel that it's genuine, it's important, it's real, it's emotional. Musically, it's a banger, it's dark, I love the verses. The chorus goes hard, the chorus is amazing, then the bridge happens. You never find me, rah! It's so good, but what sold me on this song is the outro. I'm not doing fine, I'm not doing fine. Something like that, how sad Jonathan sounds like, and you can hear in the background that he's crying and throwing something around, crashing some stuff in the background, and it sounds like the first record. Like, when this song was released as a single, it gave me false hope that this record would be like the first ones, because this is a banger. This song could have been on one of the first 6 albums, because it's just so good. Sadly, the rest of the album isn't like that. So yeah, this song makes me sad, because it makes me think about what could have been. This is just a certified nu metal banger. Great track, 10 out of 10. The darkness is revealing. This song, again, wasted potential. The music is fine, like the guitar riffs, especially in the verses. The verses are so much fun. Same with the chorus. The bridge is like, it's okay, musically, of course, because then the vocals happen, and most of the vocals here, just fine. They kinda annoy me sometimes, especially in the chorus. The verses are sang by Jonathan in such a weird manner. Na 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 na. Ooh. I'm like, sure? Like, are you making fun of your dead wife or something? Because it sounds like that to me. Like, you know, I am thinking about people who don't understand English, and they know that this album is about a dead person that meant a lot to you, and then they hear the darkness is revealing and the verse, and it sounds so positive, like Papi. I don't know why. Like, this entire record has some of the tracks that don't sound like you're going through something bad. They sound like you're happy with your life, which is so weird when you know the lyrics. Like, the lyrics aren't happy at all. So, is this something that was made on purpose? Even if it was done on purpose, it still doesn't sound good. Like, I understand the irony of making a happy sounding chorus or verse, but you're singing about bad stuff. But that doesn't make the song good. I hope you understand. 7 out of 10. Idiosyncrasy is one of the worst songs by Korn, because it's such a wasted potential. While the intro is heavy, it's nu metalish, we have the verses with the clean opera singing, and it's goddamn atrocious. Then the pre-chorus happens, which is actually fantastic, but then we've got the chorus, which is very poppy sounding. It reminds me of See You on the Other Side, which is a bad thing. Idiosyncrasy, we have that tss, tss, like in the Here to Stay song, but it's not good here. The reason why I hate this song is because then the bridge happens. We have that cool bass line, and then the heavy, angry vocals kick in. God is making fun of me! Jonathan is so angry, so passionate that that entire section lasts like 1 or 2 minutes, top, and wow, just wow, it's so perfect, it's everything I wanted from this band, but it's put into this shitty song with awful chorus and awful verses, and I'm like, why would you do this to me? Like, why does this exist? I'm going to cry because of how awful it sounds like. So, this is just an average song to me, because I have to skip half of it to enjoy the cool bridge and the pre-choruses, but everything else is annoying, it's poppy. I don't know why it sounds like that, to be honest. Why can't Korn just make a heavy song from beginning to the end, like they did in the 90s and on Take a Look in the Mirror? Like, don't you remember songs like Break Some Off? Can't you do a song like that anymore? Or are you bored by making songs like that? Why are you destroying your own songs? Like every Korn song since 2013 looks like this. Cool catchy intro that has a nu metal vibe. Verse that is either great or awfully poppy. Then pre-chorus, which is usually great, heavy, and then the chorus happens, which is awful. It sounds like shit. It's poppy, la la la, shitty stuff. Then the entire thing repeats, and then we've got a bridge, which is just fantastic. It's heavy, it's emotional, it makes you think of the old school beautiful times, and after that the chorus comes back in. And that's like 80% of Korn songs since like 2013. It goes like that, and I don't want this. I don't want this in my life. It's sad. It's sad what happened to this band. I know that this review is very negative sounding, but I am a fan of this band. I love them. I love going to live shows, buying their CDs, stuff like that. So I can whine all I want. This is my video, and I'm just so sad that this had to happen and that since 2013 we have to endure this stuff. So I can enjoy like 2 or 3 songs from the record, and the rest are like idiosyncrasy. They're like half good, half bad. 6 out of 10. The Seduction of Indulgence. Now this one has an electronic vibe to it. It's industrial. I love the vocals here. The outro especially. Killing me, kissing me, taking me, tu. Love that stuff. It's quite fun. I enjoy it way more than Idiosyncrasy, for example. 7 out of 10. Finally free. This song was released as a single day music video. It's about Jonathan's wife. She's finally free because she passed away and she went to heaven or something like that. So this one is my favorite song on the record. I love the intro. Musically, it's genius. The drumming, the cool melodic guitar riffs mixed with those atmospheric ones, the bass lines, and the vocal performance is top notch. Again, why are the vocals here sounding so beautiful and on the other tracks they sound like shit? I will never understand that. This track is a certified banger. It reminds me slightly of more melodic issues stuff. 10 out of 10. Can You Hear Me? Now this is a song that Jonathan wrote for his solo record in 2015. It was supposed to be on a deluxe edition of Black Labyrinth, but for some reason it never happened. Sadly, what he did instead was to make this a Korn song and released it as a single with a music video, and it's like Never Never but worse. Never Never is one of the worst Korn songs, so Jonathan was like, yeah, let's make even worse track. This sounds like if Depeche Mode was retarded. It's awful from beginning to the end. I cannot say a single positive thing about this track. Like, the vocals, garbage. The music, awful. Like, the guitar riffs, I don't even remember them. Same with the bass lines and the drums. This is like the most generic sounding song I've ever heard. This is the kind of shit that they play on the radio and are telling people that it's rock music, it's great. No, it's not. Like, you could choose any other song on this record and put it on the radio and it would be much more fun than this shit. This is awful. Please don't listen to this. 0 out of 10. The Ringmaster. Now this one is actually hilarious because I don't understand the verses here and the intro. Like, come now, do. It's like opera musicals or some shit. What annoys me is that this song is similar to Idiosyncrasy, but the other way around, because in the Idiosyncrasy track the chorus is garbage, same with the verses I think, and here the verses are garbage but the chorus is banging, like the chorus slays. The chorus in the Ringmaster track is a masterpiece, and it annoys the hell out of me, because why do I have to skip and listen to the chorus? Because the rest of the song is not fun, it's just not fun. But besides the chorus, there's another cool thing here. We've got some scatting in the bridge. That stuff. It's here, some DJ noises. So yeah, that's all. That's all. The bridge and the chorus. Great. It's like more than half of the song, I guess. And the other half, yeah, throw it away. 6 out of 10. Gravity of Discomfort. Now this song is actually okay, I do enjoy the instrumental work, like the guitar riffs, the bass lines, the drumming. The vocals, they aren't annoying me that much, they are fine, some of them are quite cringy, but besides that, this is actually a good song. It's nothing special, but because it doesn't have any jarring moments, you know, the moments that rip me from the experience, like they just don't flow well. Here everything is like, okay, 7 out of 10. Harder is the third best song on this record. Many Korn fans love it because it reminds them of the first album, and I get it guys, because it truly sounds like that. I love the instrumental work, especially the drumming here. At the end we've got a cool blast beat section. It's sadly just like 3 seconds long, but I wish it was longer, but yeah, I'll take what they give me. The bass lines, cool, the guitar riffs, catchy, heavy, memorable, atmospheric, evil sounding. The vocals, mostly perfect. We've got some introspective singing in the verses. The pre-chorus slaps, it reminds me of old school Korn. The chorus, well, the first part of the chorus is like, it's okay, but the second one, you know, with the harder and harder and harder, that's fun. Then we've got the bridge section, which sounds like breakbeat. It has that old school Korn self-titled vibe. Like it sounds like Boltong's bridge, you know? And that cool drumming in the background. It sounds so good, it's nostalgic. I have nothing else to add. I wish the entire record sounded like this song, because then I would enjoy it. 10 out of 10. This loss could have been the best Korn track in years, but sadly they had to ruin it. What I love the most about this track is how the vocals sound in the pre-chorus and chorus. My favorite part of the song is, you know, that one. I am not the man that I once used to be, something like that. Everything I've ever loved is always taken back from me. That stuff, it's just perfect. Sorry for my awful singing, but I'm not a singer. And then the chorus kicks in, you know. The feeling of this loss keeps creeping, whoa. That stuff is all perfect. It truly reminds me of Issues, like it has that dark aesthetic to it. The music behind the vocals is just genius, it's perfect, it complements the vocals. So this annoys the hell out of me, that the intro, the verses, the pre-chorus and chorus is amazing, but then the bridge happens. It's an opera piece with some awful singing, and the music there is also awful. I have no clue who came up with that idea, but they've ruined the entire song for me. And whenever I'm listening to this one, I have to skip that bridge part. Like, I cannot stand it. Like, it's just so bad. It's so jarring, like it's off-putting to me because it doesn't even flow well with the track. Like, it's like someone wrote another song and put that piece of that song into this one, and it's like 2 different sounding tracks, and I don't want that opera stuff. Like, remove it. It's bleh. So yeah, this loss is my loss. It's everyone's loss because it could have been a masterpiece. This song is the reason I got so angry when this album was released, because I would replay those cool pre-choruses and choruses and the verses, but that bridge, why? Just why? Like, this is a proof that God doesn't exist, because this song happened and we've got that bridge in the middle and it fucks the entire experience for me. 8 out of 10. And the final track, Surrender, the outro, written just by Davis. This one isn't that special actually. It doesn't sound even dark. I do enjoy the last couple of words here, but that's just it. It's average. 5 out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is various and the flow is disrupted. Replayability, some. This is an average record. I actually should give it a good score if you count the percentage of each individual track, but I'm not going to do that. Like, Korn should do better. Like, they know how to write amazing music. Like, most of their discography is perfect. Like, the first 6 records, the Untitled album, Korn Free, the Path of Totality, the Serenity of Suffering, and then we have this dad, the Nothing, and the Paradigm Shift, and See You on the Other Side, and Requiem. Like, what are you doing? Like, those 4 records are like below the standards of this band, like for me. I'm not saying that those albums don't have good songs, because the Nothing has perfect songs, like it has You'll Never Find Me, it has Finally Free, it has Harder, but then everything else is like wasted opportunity to write some bangers. Like, you write cool heavy track and then you either ruin it with awful poppy verse or a chorus or an opera bridge. Like, what is wrong with you? I am not even sure if this is the kind of music that the band wants to write. Like, who's coming up with those crazy ideas, like that opera bridge or the poppy choruses? Is this something you want to write? Because I'm sure most of people don't care and they are like, yeah, it's great, but other people are going to take notice. Like, I noticed that you made Fieldy more quiet since the Paradigm Shift. Like, you don't hear him anymore. Like, on Korn Free, he had lots of bass lines, and on the Path of Totality, he has none because it's a dubstep record. On Paradigm Shift, you almost never hear him. On Serenity, I don't even know if he was on that record, to be honest. Like, he's in the lineup, but did you hear the bass sound there? Maybe on some of the tracks. Here, there are like 3 or 4 songs where you can hear him, and everything else is like, eh? On Requiem, he apparently played bass on that record, but was it even there, like, on most of the tracks? So yeah, I feel like they are losing their identity, what makes them unique. The songs here, half of them are not fun at all. The worst one is Can You Hear Me? And everything else is like half good, half bad. Like, The Ringmaster, great chorus. Idiosyncrasy, great bridge. But what about the rest of the song? Yeah, the rest of the song is awful. Great job. This album annoys the hell out of me, and I don't even have such a controversial opinion about it, because I know some long-lasting Korn fans who hate the Nothing. They think it's one of the worst things they've ever heard because of how of a wasted potential the songs are. Sure, you can enjoy those choruses if you like pop music. For example, I don't enjoy pop music, especially the new school pop music, because the old school pop music, like Britney Spears' first record, it wasn't that bad. Even that one was heavier than this shit. Like, I rather listen to Pink. Maybe the choruses there are going to be better than in Cold or the bridge part in This Loss. I hope that the next Korn record is going to have better vocals, because this is my only complaint. Like, the vocals just changed. They aren't the same, and when I'm saying they aren't the same, I'm talking about they don't sound real, they don't sound genuine, they don't sound like real emotions. They sound like poppy, constructed thing without soul. And it annoys me because everything else has soul. Like, you know, the screaming, the growling, the crying in the background. Some of the beautiful choruses here, like in The Ringmaster, or Finally Free, or You'll Never Find Me. Those choruses, they sound real. They sound like they are full of hardship and emotions. But then I have the chorus of Idiosyncrasy, or the opera part in This Loss, and I don't know what I'm listening to. Is this supposed to be music? Am I so old that I cannot enjoy it anymore? The only thing I can tell you is because Korn has been releasing, like The Nothing, Requiem, and the Paradigm Shift, that it made me enjoy Untitled and Korn Free and the Path of Totality way more, because when those records came out, I did not love them that much, because I felt like they were a wasted opportunity. But nowadays, because The Nothing exists and Paradigm Shift, I feel like, nah, those were amazing, because at least they had great vocal performances. No in the background, no in the chorus, and here, well, the quality depends on the individual song. Like, the entire package of the album, the entire album is not great. It's average at best. Half of the things I would just throw away from here. Like, I would actually keep only 3 songs from this record, and everything else would be thrown into garbage or just changed. Like, for example, if I was a producer of Korn, I would just say, you have to replace the chorus in code because it sounds awful. It's worse than that video game you've promoted. What was his name? Haze. Remember Haze? Halo Killer? So yeah, great stuff. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. Share your own thoughts about this record in the comments down below. I'm sure most of you loved this one, and you will say that it's a return to form and that it's the best record since Issues or Untouchables, but don't say that. Like, go listen to Take a Look in the Mirror. Go back, like, listen to the entire discography again, because I don't know if you're understanding what you're saying. The Nothing is... It's not nothing. Oh, that's my best description of this record. The Nothing is not nothing. It's something. It's something, and that something has some positive sides, and so not some positive sides, some negative ones, some very negative ones. If you want, support me on my Patreon page, because why not? If you want me to make more reviews, more Doom MIDI covers, go there. It's fun. That's basically it. I will see you in some other videos. I will keep on doing those Korn reviews because I have a lot of things to say about this band. Because I've been listening to it for 23 years or 24 already. Wow, how time flies. Bye.